Okay, with this, I am going to try to offer a little bit of help with naming alkanes. The very first step that you need to do is find the longest continuous chain of carbons. And for this one, it's pretty easy. This one right here. You couldn't tell which one I was looking at, but I have to circle it to tell you. So if we go from here to here, we have 1, 2, 3 carbons in the longest continuous chain. If we look at this one's pretty tricky because we could say, oh, I have 1, 2, 3, but this right here is a continuous chain. So this continuous chain has 4 carbons. So I will just guide it through finding the longest continuous chain on each of these and then helping you from there. So on this one, we identified this as the longest continuous chain. And I'll just put a little 3 here. The longest continuous chain has 3, and the prefix for 3 is prop. All right, here we have 4. The longest continuous chain has 4 carbons, and the prefix for that is bute. Here, this is our longest continuous chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the prefix for that is hept. And here is our longest continuous chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is also a hept. That's the prefix for 7. On this one, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So to get the longest continuous chain, you can see that we have to go down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's the longest continuous chain. Whoops. On this one, this is a bit tricky. The longest continuous chain what most people usually do is they'll circle this and say, oh, this is my longest continuous chain, but that's not right. It does wrap around like this, so that one is really tricky. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the prefix for 9 is non. And this one is pretty tricky too. I'm trying to see if I can bring that someplace else. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have to erase all of those marks now that I identified it. And take that back out of my way. Alright, so we have 9. That's a non. Alright, the next thing you need to do is figure out what sorts of groups are attached. If you have a CH3 group attached, that is a methyl group. And if you have a CH2, CH3, that is ethyl. If we were to have a CH2, CH2, CH3, that would be propyl. And they have to do with those prefixes. The prefix for 1 carbon is meth, the prefix for 2 carbons is eth, and the prefix for 3 carbons is prop. So I'm going to circle them in a different color. Here I have a methyl group. Here there's 1 carbon, which is also a methyl group. Here I have a branch, and there are 2 carbons, which means it's an ethyl. Here I have 2 branches, One just has one carbon, which makes it a methyl, and the other has two carbons, which makes it an ethyl. And this one I have a branch here with one carbon, it's a methyl, and here I have two carbons, which is an ethyl. And here I have one carbon, which is a methyl, and two carbons, which is an ethyl. So the next step is to figure out how to number each of these, and we'll use green for numbering. We want to start numbering from the end, so we could start numbering from this end, or we could start numbering from this end. I could start numbering from this end, or start numbering from that end. We need to start numbering from the end that has the closest branch. So in this one, number one, it doesn't really matter because the branch is right in the middle. So we have 1, 2, 3. There, I've numbered my carbons. On number 2, the branch is this methyl group here, and if I start numbering from this side, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. If I were to start numbering from the other side, where this 4 is the 1, 2, 3, then it would be 3. The methyl group would be 3 carbons in, which is not what we want. We want to start numbering from the side that has the closest branch. So the closest branch on this, 1, 2, 3, 4 from that side, 1, 2, 3, 4 from that side. It doesn't really matter, so I'm going to number like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On number 4, you can see that the first branch is closer to this end, so this is going to be my number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we are only numbering the ones in the longest continuous chain and in order. All right, on this one, my methyl group on number 5, a methyl group would be on the 1, 2, the third carbon. If we were to start counting from the other direction, I have 1, 2, 3. This ethyl group would be on the number 4 carbon. So this one is closer to this side right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I feel like I might have missed something there. Maybe we didn't count on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we did not mention that this is 8 carbons. It's oct. It's the prefix for 8. Now if we are on number 6 and we start counting from one end, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we start counting from this end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we start counting from the top end, so we have to start counting from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, did I count wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I did. I counted wrong before. How did I miss that? The prefix for 10 is dec. You guys probably caught that, and I didn't. And you can figure out the bottom one. So now that we have the groups identified, we have it numbered the way we want to number, we know how many carbons are in the longest chain. What we need to do now is name. So you have to start with the groups first. So this methyl is on the third carbon, so the name of this becomes 3-methyl, and then propane. So these are all alkanes. They'll end in ane. Here we have 2-methyl butane. And I'm going to skip down to number 4 because number 4 has both an ethyl group and a methyl group. My methyl group is on the number 4 carbon and my ethyl group is on the number 3 carbon. doesn't really matter which carbons they're on. What's important is that we say ethyl first because it is alphabetically lower than methyl, so we go in alphabetical order. So the name of this would be 3-ethyl, 4-methyl, and I'm not going to fit it on the line, so I'll just go down to the next line, heptane. So this is a tutorial on how to, what approaches you should use when you are looking at a structural formula and having to name it. So this is alkanes. The second part of the worksheet is drawing them, and the best thing to do with this is, I'll just give you some advice, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Looks like I have the green marker. So we have octane. It'd be best just to do skeleton formulas. So we'll do skeleton formulas first. So we have 8 carbons in a row, octane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are very easy to make mistakes on. And it says that on the number 4 carbon there's an ethyl group. So 1, 2, 3, 4, there's an ethyl group. So if you were drawing the condensed formula of this, we would have 3 carbons on the end carbon, 3 hydrogens there, 2 hydrogens there, 1 hydrogen there, 3 there, 2 hydrogens there, 2 there, 2 there, and 3 there. So a condensed structure for this would be CH3, CH2, CH2, CH, CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. I kind of ran out of room there. So that's the approach that you would use with that. So I hope this helps you complete